You die once and suddenly you're not invisible. Explore the story of Heed, who was a corpse for a while but is back to life and trying to learn about just what had happened, only to discover the story is far stranger than that. Inspired by manga, Alter X Artifact is a new LGBTQ+ webcomic for mature readers revolving around magic and political espionage. This comic features fantastic elements, gripping storytelling, and impressive visuals that pull you into the strange but fascinating world of the comic. Alter X Artifact explores themes of magic, dreams, and relationships, all while deftly weaving a compelling mystery with eye-catching visuals. You're still in time to enjoy the exciting prologue as well, but you gotta hurry over onto the website. So, if you're looking for your next weekly webcomic read, you need to go to alterxartifact.com. That is alterxartifact.com. Now back to the show.
You know, it's bad when,
And then they have information at the bottom, like their about, advertise, contact policies are all at the footer.
oh wow. You know, it's bad when, like, IO9 is a more reputable news source.
Yeah. Because at the top, all they have is their header, their, categories
Right.
or whatever.
Yeah.
And then their social media stuff.
Right. So, welcome to Supernatural Selection. This is your Weekend Weird. I'm your host, Kevin Heyman. With me is Mike the Skeptic. Mike, how are you doing today?
I feel like I'm going to be very skeptical tonight.
Oh, I think you will. And you know what? I might just jump into that pool with you.
Because it's a special skeptical, not skeptical.
It's a special skeptical.
No, I shouldn't say skeptical. What I meant to say was it's a special sort of breaking news.
Yeah.
As of this week, I mean,
Yes.
It's Thursday currently as of recording, and this news came out Monday, so it's not like hot off the press.
Yeah. Well, it's hot off the press for us.
Yes.
Now, as you can tell, we're San David here.
Yeah.
Sans David. He is taking care of some stuff. He should be back next week for our big Lizard Tits episode. But, God, there's just been so much in the news this week. We figured it'd be a good idea to go ahead and do Weekend Weird. Because that happens sometimes, It seems like on the off weeks, big stuff in the paranormal world happens. And, of course, that big first thing is Pat Robertson's dead. No, Dusty showed me a thing a minute ago that was somebody put Jesus finding out Pat Robertson is dead into an AI, into like DALL-E 2. And it was just Jesus laughing hysterically in every picture.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, nope, that tracks. That definitely tracks. So,
the man who pretty much single-handedly brought us, for-profit churches.
Yeah, no, everything wrong with, that's hyperbole. He's a major architect of everything wrong with America right now.
At least everything wrong with,
the Republican Party.
Organized religion in America.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, not everything. He as far as we
There's
know, he has
lot of 'em.
nothing to do with, like, the touching boys. But other than that...
No, I honestly feel like of all the shit Pat Robertson did, that is like the one thing I would not accuse him of doing. The one thing.
But, exploiting his poor, congregation, yes.
Oh, yeah, man.
I mean, a number of times I've heard of people that, old women who are just, barely getting by on their, Social Security and stuff, still trying to send every single dollar they can to the 700 Club so they can get into heaven.
Mike, I'm going to tell you something. Did you know that in my youth, I was an avid viewer of the 700 Club.
Does not surprise me. Your
Yeah.
parents were old.
Well, not just that. I was like a zealot for a while. This is crazy. Yeah, I know. Me.
You had a crush on Tammy Faye?
That was a PTL club.
Oh, that's
sir.
right. I
And
forgot.
yes, I watched that as well.
Wow, you just...
I was all up in the Flavor Aid, my friend.
What happened?
My dad actually sat me down and was like, "You need to just chill the fuck
so
out."
it was you.
Yeah, my parents sat me down and were like, "Dude, you need to calm your tits."
So you were a little religious. What age are we talking about here?
13, 14.
Oh, that was right before I met you.
Yeah, like not long before we met, I was hardcore religious.
So wow.
Yeah.
If they hadn't done that, if you'd still been that way when we met, yeah, that wouldn't have worked out.
Yeah, no. Now I believe in UFOs.
I would have seen you, and
You would have noped the fuck out.
you
Yeah.
would have tried to pray over me or something. I would have been
Yeah. Well, you
fuck
remember
you.
I was still had my belief and everything,
you
and
did,
I
but
still
you weren't-
believe
but
to
you
an
weren't
extent.
yeah,
No, I wasn't insane.
yes, you weren't.
Yeah, I came out of that.
You weren't like the old man that accosted me at a Walmart
I was there for that. I know.
last Sunday.
Yeah. Oh my
where
god.
I'm just trying to buy oil and a filter for my vehicle, and this old man walks up, and he's like, I just flipped through the book and found my oil filter. Do it a million times, so doesn't take me very long. And he walks up, he's like, "Hey, you found that really quick. I wish I could do that. I wish I was that good." I was like, "Oh, I just got lucky." He's like, well, sir, I surely hope you're coming to heaven with me. And record scratch. I just had this mental
and
record scratch.
And I was walking up when that happened. I was like, "Hey, Mike, I got the buggy. Let's go."
And
The thing is, when he said, "Oh, you're coming to, I really hope you're coming to heaven with me," I would have been like, "You want to go now?
yeah,
We can go
I was
now."
thinking, is that a threat?
I'm gonna kill you, man.
But my favorite part of the story is how when you walk up and say whatever, I didn't even notice what she said, honestly.
Yeah.
But because my that was in the middle of the record scratch.
Mm-hmm.
But then he says, "Oh, and your friend," kind of like this implying,
Are y'all
that,
fucking?
yeah, like we're a couple or something. My
I-
first instinct was to correct him, not because I would be ashamed to be gay or anything, which I wouldn't be,
Yeah.
but because someone is wrong and someone has a wrong assumption.
Yes. You have a thing about people being that wrong.
About being wrong about something I could easily say, "Oh no, that's." And so I start to
Are
correct
you saying
him.
you could do better than me, Mike?
No. Well, yes, I could, but that's not what I'm saying. But besides, you're taken, so.
Indeed.
So the words start to come out of my mouth, and then I realize, no, it's funnier for him to believe we're a gay couple.
Yes.
And so I just say, "Thanks, bye," and we just, walk off.
I really, and like I told you then, I don't want to kiss you, Mike, but if it had pissed off that guy, I would have done it.
I don't think I could have put my heart into it, but
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Maybe
that was
hold
a hell of
hands.
that's a hell of a sidetrack.
Well,
Yeah.
it's the icebreaker. We're breaking
Sure.
ice with topical and
Yes, topical humor funnies. So, Mike, I want you to go first because you've got the biggest news
So
story
got this
we can cover.
big story. I don't know how to say this, but there's proof of UFOs. You're happy, Kevin?
Here's the thing: if it turns out to be real, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be happy or terrified.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have so gotten caught up in this, quest for the truth. They haven't quite stopped to really think out the ramifications of if it is in fact true. If all this is actually true,
If disclosure happens,
the the Greys and the Nordics and the whatever.
Oh, the
and all
implications of all that being real is horrifying because of the shit it means that could be true.
Like, that is just... I don't understand why people, want to live in that world.
Sure. Yeah, no, I don't want to live in the something got shoved up my butt against my will in a UFO.
I'm just the all the implications there, but yeah.
Yeah, no.
So anyway, this week, according to the website no one's ever heard of called the Debrief.
Yeah, the Debrief. Yeah. I've not heard of this site.
Talk a little bit about the site itself in a minute, but it says a former intelligence officer turned whistleblower has given Congress and the intelligence community.
I was just gonna say, the dude is a legit dude.
Yeah, no, they get into his credentials here in a second. Sorry, let me start over because I forgot where I was.
Sorry, you're talking about David Charles Grush.
Yeah, well, I was pretty much going down the article.
Okay.
A former intelligence official turned whistleblower has given Congress and the intelligence community Inspector General extensive classified information about deeply covert. This is a really poorly composed sentence.
Do you want to read the Jalopnik article?
Oh, I mean, I was going to the source.
Oh, yeah, no, you don't want to do that. You want to go to the Jalopnik.
So basically, this sentence is saying, what did he give Congress? Extensive classified information about deeply covert programs that he says possess retrieved, intact, and partially intact craft of non-human origin. So he says that
we have UFOs.
So he has given Congress and the intelligence community Inspector General.
Which I guess that's like some unified head of information?
Because they're all those words are capitalized. Intelligence community Inspector General, I guess. The information he
Where's
says...
actually, they were talking about this on last podcast. ICIG is something I've never heard of, but that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. So it's actually different. It's ICIG. It's the Inspector General of the Intelligence Community.
Right.
That's Thomas A. Monheim.
Okay. We'll continue.
So he's listed on the .gov site. So he is
that's a real dude.
It's a real dude.
That draws a paycheck.
Yeah. So the information he says, which is the whistleblower they have not named yet in the article, has been illegally withheld from Congress, and he filed a complaint alleging that he suffered illegal retaliation for his confidential disclosures reported here for the first time.
Okay.
So other intelligence officials, both active and retired, with knowledge of these programs through their work in various agencies, has independently provided similar corroborating information, both on and off record, supposedly, I guess. The whistleblower, David Charles Grush, 36, a decorated former combat officer in Afghanistan, is a veteran of the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency and the National Reconnaissance Office.
Man, this is like a lot of shit I hadn't heard of before this.
Well, I know of the NRO. They're the ones that run all the spy satellites. Like any of the big, Keystone satellites and all those are NRO satellites. The NGA, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, I've never heard of them before, but, they probably exist too.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing so far really throwing off like, well, it's bullshit.
He served as the Reconnaissance Office's representative to the Unidentified Aerial Phenomenon Task Force.
Right. That's the one that just got set. Or is this the one that previously
2019
existed?
to 2021.
Oh, so this is the one that, okay.
From late 2021 to July 2022, he was the NGA's, they said, that was the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency.
Right.
He was the NGA's co-lead for UAP analysis and its representative to the task force. So, he's there, but he's also, adjacent to the UAP task force.
Mm-hmm.
So the task force was established, obviously, was to investigate what once were so-called unidentified flying objects, or UFOs, now officially called unidentified anomalous phenomenon, or aerial phenomenon. I don't know which. This says anomalous phenomenon, but I've also seen aerial phenomenon.
Yeah, I've heard aerial.
Or UAP.
Yeah.
The task force was led by the Department of the Navy under the Office of the Undersecretary, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de. Grush said the recoveries of partial fragments through and up to intact vehicles have been made for decades through the present day by the government, its allies, and defense contractors. So that's a lot of people.
That is a lot.
That's a lot of holes for, information to disseminate out of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's like a tea diffuser. The more holes you have, the more little bits get out. And every person's a hole.
Yeah.
And conspiracies, you don't want to have too many people in the pot.
Yeah. Again, I've got a theory, but we'll get into that later.
Analysis has determined that the objects retrieved are, quote, of exotic origin, parentheses, non-human intelligence, whether extraterrestrial or unknown origin, close parentheses, based on the vehicle morphologies and material science testing and the possession of unique atomic arrangements and radiological signatures, end quote, he said. I mean, I guess.
Okay, big, huge deal, if true.
Yeah.
Big if true. That's the term.
In filing his complaint, Grush is represented by a lawyer who served as the original Intelligence Community Inspector General. Okay.
This is like a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I've also read somewhere that they've got like bodies.
Yeah, this hasn't said anything about bodies, just mostly intact and partially intact vehicles.
Right.
In accordance with protocols, Grush provided Defense Office of Pre-Publication and Security Review at the Department of Defense with the information he intended to disclose to us. His on-the-record statements were all, quote, cleared for open publication. Grush's disclosures and those of non-public witnesses under new protective provisions of the... Wow, this is just super dense.
Yeah, I know. But the basic idea is he has put forward that...
It says basically since World War II and beyond, the Air Force has carried out disinformation campaigns to discredit reporting sightings. The U.S. Army's liaison for the UAP task force, Carl E. Neal, says Grush is beyond reproach.
I've read a lot of stuff saying that this guy is the real deal.
Yeah.
And that's kind of horrifying to me, honestly. This is scary to me.
Here's the thing, though. It's like, how does he know?
Well, it's...
He really sounds like a Pentagon pencil pusher.
I feel like it's one of those things where you're in a situation and you hear stuff. Like, there's stuff that, like, I haven't been told where we work. And we work in a liquor store, so there's nothing earth-shattering about, hey, there's a bourbon coming in. And, like, no one told me, but, like, I heard about it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I think maybe might be going on.
This is also a very long article.
It is. Like I said, there's a Jalopnik article that sort of summarizes it.
Yeah.
And it quotes what you just said,
Yeah.
but...
According to, this is going to the Jalopnik article with some more succinct excerpts. According to reporting from Debrief, Grush has the support of the intelligence community firmly on his side, which seems kind of suspect. I mean, look what Edward Snowden got in trouble for. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was basically just, saying, showing things that were already kind of known about.
Mm-hmm. And this is like the biggest secret that he's... So let's we've gone over what he's talking about. Let's talk about this for a second, realistically.
Yeah.
First off, there is no goddamn way he would be walking around talking about this with a non-bullet filled head.
So in a world where some form of government covered up UFOs are real,
Right.
and their government is vehemently trying to keep it a secret, yes.
Yeah.
If they want to keep
There's
that secret,
0% chance this guy does not have a Swiss cheese head.
so the two options here are either he's wrong and they're just, don't care, or he's right and they are moving towards what you nut jobs call disclosure.
Or he's been fed this information to stir this up for some reason, which I still feel like all this shit could be used just, to distract people from something else. Like the conspiracy theorists, there's like a lot of things that they could be, digging into, and they're like, it'd be very easy to just throw them onto the UFO thing.
Yeah.
So like that's it's kind of like Lou Elizondo. I do not believe Lou Elizondo at all. He worked in, like, everything he ever did was like he was a disinformation agent and a liar, and now he's saying UFOs are real, and this time I'm telling the truth. It's like, okay, right, I'm gonna believe you because
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I want to believe, but like this is really sus. I hate to say it like that, but it's sus.
So going into the debrief of the about the website, they were founded by pretty much 5 people who, at least through cursory Google searches, seem to be already in the ufology sphere.
Oh, God.
I'm using that just to piss Kevin off too.
Yeah, he's doing a good job.
Like they're all, several of them were already writers in that world before founding the website.
Oh, I bet they were on the Mysterious Universe.
And the website itself has like technology and military technology articles sprinkled in, along with all the UFO, UAP stories to kind of, almost, it seems like it's trying to seed some credibility there.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Well, we can't just talk about UFOs.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Yeah, I don't...
this is, and it's really easy.
And how long have they been around?
Their earliest article is 2019.
Oh, about the same time dude was in charge of the UAP task force.
Yeah. And so it's really easy without, other stories, other news outlets, doing their own reporting on it. It's really easy to craft a narrative from a single source. Like every source points back to the debrief. That's why I wanted to read from it first.
Yes.
Because it is the origin of this story. Where they got their information for, I have not seen. It did not seem to say in this. I don't know if it came directly from a
dude,
Grush or not.
What a name. Isn't Grush something that happens when your balls start to sweat?
I don't want to think about that.
Okay, well, I just this is really sus to me.
Yeah, I mean, they do say, they do tell who his lawyer is, but all these intelligence community that hold Grush in, high esteem, they don't really name them.
Right.
So it's really hard to lend much credence to this.
Yeah, I'm just real. I don't know. I'm interested in UFOs. I'm not interested in the conspiracy of UFOs because if it exists, it's horrifying. I don't want to really be in that world,
Yeah.
Like the whole thing where I got abducted by aliens and there were military there. Well, fuck.
Yeah, that's another problem I have is like,
I mean, this is the Gaeta Treaty shit with Eisenhower that
like, you would have all these also soldiers who are, enforcing this, secrecy, that they don't ever say anything about it.
Yeah, no, it's too many goddamn people involved in the conspiracy, if it were real, for it to remain secret.
Yeah.
There'd be a lot more people with bullets in their heads.
I think also my biggest nail in the coffin against these large kind of, alien conspiracies is always, for America at least, it's always been Russia. If we had these kind of secrets, well, I guess
somebody would know. It's like another country would have already found.
They
would have
been using that against us. Maybe if not openly, because they would be afraid we would expose their secrets. Maybe, but
I don't know.
But Russia doesn't care.
Daddy Putin doesn't give a fuck.
Even during the Soviet era, even if Russia had UFOs, I think they would have been using that as propaganda.
Yeah, sure.
I can't see a world where Russia doesn't, they know the kind of turmoil it would cause us internally if they
and societal breakdown and all that fun shit. Yeah,
it may not be a total societal collapse, but it definitely ruin our financial day.
Oh yeah, that's a given.
To come out, there'd be mass panic for a while.
Yeah.
So to them never to have used that trump card is really
it's telling.
It puts a taste in my mouth that this stuff is more than likely not true on that scale.
Yeah, I'm with you. I believe in UFOs. I just don't really believe in the conspiracy. So I don't have any jokes for this because it's kind of terrifying in a way, and it's also sus. So, and I keep saying that.
Yeah. So if it just did come to be true, how would it affect you personally?
Oh, Jesus Christ! I don't know. I'd start wondering if those were dreams I had or not.
Yeah. Start questioning your past.
Yeah, that dude, that animated GIF of the dude that's just nodding like he's nodding along to music, and then just the gun barrel comes up in view and goes, yeah, that would be me, I think. I really feel like all these guys, like you said, all these guys wanting disclosure, I don't think they're thinking it through. What would you do?
So how does Montana sound to you?
Pretty darn good. It sounds flat and remote.
Let's go to Montana.
Yeah.
Load up.
Actually, it also sounds like a really good place to get abducted.
No. It's central. You just go find a cabin out somewhere and.
Oh yeah, because nobody ever got abducted out of a cabin in the woods.
Well,
Mike, we should just go by the assumed name, the Streebers.
I don't know, Kevin. With all your talk, your enamoring talk of lizard tits. If they're really out there, maybe I want to get abducted.
There's that great documentary, Love and Saucers, that there's a part of me that's this is really sad, but also, good for the guy.
But I really though, if it came out to be true, I would want to do that just to get away from the societal problems it would probably turmoil it would cause.
Right? Yeah. No.
Everybody else would have that idea too. So
Montana's gonna fill up real quick.
This be this urban dysphoria of
dude, we need to just go to Florida because everybody's gonna leave Florida.
Go to New York.
Oh,
we could live hell damn ass kings in New York.
How many monkey butlers will there be, Mike?
One at first, but he'll train others.
Okay, thank you. Even without David, we got a Simpsons reference in, or a Matt Groening reference. Woo! Yeah. So, thank you for that article. I have a cat butt in my face right now, so I'm having trouble seeing my article. I found something interesting thanks to Clark Wayne, actually, from DV Behavior Radio. Listen Fridays and Sundays to our show there. Indian official suspended after he drains reservoir to retrieve phone he dropped while taking a selfie. This is from the AP News.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like an abuse of power at all.
No, but man, it's weird. New Delphi. Is it Delphi or Delphi?
I don't know.
Oh, Delhi. There's no P in there. It's New Delhi.
Okay.
A government official in India has been suspended from his job after he ordered a water reservoir to be drained so he could retrieve his smartphone, which he had dropped while taking a selfie. Food inspector, I'm gonna butcher the shit out of this, Rajesh Vishwas.
I think you did pretty good there.
Oh, thank you. Dropped his Samsung in Kerkata Dam in the central Indian state of Chhattisgarh last week.
Yeah. I don't know how a double H is supposed to sound.
Yeah, I don't. The Times of India newspaper reported. Vishwas first asked local divers to jump into the reservoir to find the device, claiming it contained sensitive government data. But after the initial efforts to retrieve his smartphone failed, he asked for the reservoir to be emptied using diesel pumps. Over the next 3 days, more than 2 million liters of water were pumped from the reservoir, which is enough to irrigate at least 1,500 acres of land during India's scorching summer.
How much is that in American units? Like, say,
liters?
Bathtubs.
I don't know.
Swimming pools.
I need to know how many Nerf balls that is. In videos that went viral on social media, Vishwas is seen sitting under a red umbrella as diesel pumps run to drain water from the reservoir. This sounds like a Bugs Bunny cartoon.
Yeah.
Vishwas told local media the water in the reservoir was unusable for irrigation and that he had received permission from a senior official to drain it. The smartphone was eventually retrieved, but wouldn't even start because it was fucking dropped in a reservoir for 3 days.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, modern smartphones are waterproof, but they're only waterproof up to a certain, like, depth.
Uh-huh.
Usually it's, only a couple of feet or meters.
Yeah.
And also for not a very long period of time. It's usually like, a couple of hours at, 6 feet or some shit like that. And so, when they said 3 days, I was like, that thing is not usable anymore.
Authorities later suspended Vishwas after he was widely criticized for wasting water resources. No shit. India is one of the most water-stressed countries, and extreme temperatures had led to severe water scarcity, causing crop losses, forest fires, and cuts to power.
Yeah.
And he just drained 2 million liters for a phone that was dead. What the fuck, Mike?
And he wasn't even that high up either.
No.
The food inspector.
Yeah, no, it's like, and the thing is, with him sitting under the red umbrella, I just picture like old Muammar Gaddafi sitting under a red umbrella with like his female bodyguards with the machine guns there, and just the pumps running. It's like, we found your toothbrush, sir. Holy shit.
Yeah, I guess it's just because of their they have a kind of a caste system still, don't they?
Yeah, I believe so.
And
but the problem is, everyone that's ever told me about the caste system is like a racist old white man. So I don't want to say yes.
Well, I've read it online.
Sure,
and stuff.
I'm just saying.
I just have to wonder if that didn't play into why
a caste thing.
None of the workers at the site questioned him on why should we drain it for you,
or said no.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Even question it, be like, well, they wouldn't have to say no. They would say, well, let me ask my supervisor or something. They'd run it up to chain high enough to Or if they did, maybe they did and they said fine, but when it became a flap on social media, then they cut him loose.
I don't know.
It could go either way.
A lot of questions there, but holy shit, man, there's a lot of wasted water at a really bad time to do it.
Think
what the fuck?
That would get up to whoever their resource management is, environmental resources or whatever, and they'd be like, no, we need that water to live, for food. You're a food inspector, food is grown with water, not Brondo, right?
I was about to say, he probably is in the pocket of big energy drink.
Big Brondo.
I just, that story blew my mind.
Yeah, that sounds like some...
That is like life-ending shit over a cell phone.
Yeah, that Look, if you saw that, that kind of thing play out in a movie, you would be like, oh, this is a good comedy.
Yeah, no, I could see that in like The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's my first story. I just really wanted to get that out there. It angers me a lot.
So, going through my backlog of stories, I came across one that fits with the other one.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. It's from earlier in the month, but UFO hunters build an open source AI system to scan the skies.
Interesting.
Excerpt from a Motherboard article. Frustrated with the lack of transparency and trust around official accounts of UFO phenomenon, a team of developers has decided to take matters into their own hands with an open source citizen science project called Sky 360, which aims to blanket the Earth in affordable monitoring stations to watch the sky 24/7.
Oh, wow.
And even plans to use AI and machine learning to spot anomalous behavior.
That's pretty cool, man. Like, I'm always excited when AI is used for something pretty neat.
Yeah, well, we can have a whole discussion about AI another time.
We're going to do that another day. David wants to do that for Dead Internet Theory, too.
Yeah. So, unlike earlier 20th century efforts such as inventors proposing... I thought I couldn't tell if it was investors or inventors, but it's inventors proposing geomagnetic detectors to discover nearby UFOs. Or more recent software like the short-lived UFO ID project, Sky 360 hopes that it can establish a network of autonomously operated surveillance units to gather real-time data of our skies. Organizations like MUFON, founded in 1969, have long investigated sightings, while amateur groups like the American Flying Saucer Investigation Committee of Columbus, wow, that's a really long time.
They need an acronym.
That would be the AFSICC.
AFSIC?
AFSIC.
AFSIC's not bad. I've heard worse.
Even ran statistical analysis on sightings in the 1960s, finding that most of them happened on Wednesdays.
You know, that is interesting. The thing is, according to John Keel, they happen on Tuesdays and Thursdays mostly.
Well, this was statistic analysis in the 60s, so I don't know what to tell him other than he's wrong. When would he say that?
The 60s.
Yeah.
That's all I really know.
However, Sky 360 believes that the level of interest and the technology have now both reached an inflection point where citizen researchers can actually generate large-scale actionable data for analysis all on their own.
That's cool.
So the Sky 360, say that 5 times fast.
No.
Stations consist of an all-sky cam with a wide-angle fisheye lens and a pan-tilt focus camera, with the fisheye camera registering all movement. Oh, I see. So it's like a 180-degree camera looking for movement, and I guess the pan-tilt will be for honing in on that and getting...
And follow it, yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Underlying software performs an initial rough analysis of these events and decides whether to activate other sensors. And if so, the pan-tilt focus camera zooms in on the object, tracks it, and further analyzes it, according to developer Nicola Galliot. The software is currently based on a computer vision background subtraction algorithm, blah-de-blah-de-blah-de. I mean, stuff that interests me, but, don't want to bore the listeners.
Sure, no, I understand, but that is actually really cool. I like that.
Yeah, it basically focus on anything that any pixels that moves and track as long as possible and automatically classified. See, the automatically classified, I do have questions because I've seen people with these bird cameras and it's rejecting birds just because they were lit wrong or something.
Sure.
The idea is the more data these monitoring stations acquire, the better the classification will be. All the hardware components from the cameras to passive radar and temperature gauges can be bought cheaply and off the shelf worldwide, with the ultimate goal of finding the most effective combination for the lowest price. Schematics, blueprints, and suggested equipment are all available on the Sky 360 site, and interested parties are encouraged to join the project's Discord server.
Oh, cool.
There are currently 20 stations set up across the world, from USA to Canada to more remote regions like the Azores and the Middle Atlantic. Once enough Sky 360 stations have been deployed, the next step is to work towards real-time monitoring, drawing all the data together and analyzing it by striving to create a huge, open, transparent network. Anyone could be free to examine the data themselves.
Neat. You know, it does make me pine for the days of SETI, but I feel like this is good. This is a good thing.
And on the Sky 360 website, they have, some videos. One of them is an unknown object falling from the sky above Alaska.
Yeah.
You can see some video from the fisheye camera, too.
So, space. I'm really excited about that one.
So, looking a little further into their website. So, cost. Guess how much one of these things would cost? Their ballpark.
I don't know how much.
So the current range.
Wait, let me guess. $2,000.
You're in the ballpark.
Oh,
the current range is $1,500 to $5,000.
That's pretty broad.
They say you can, if your budget's a problem, you could go in with friends and all share the data.
You could say that about every goddamn thing.
Think about this, though. It only takes 150,000 stations, and everyone can observe the sky from around the world. That's a lot. That's a lot of stations.
Yeah.
150,000 stations times even the cheapest price. That's still, millions of dollars.
Yeah.
They have patrons. They have 5 levels of patronship: orb, saucer, gimbal, tic tac, and mothership. And they have a map of the sky awareness stations. They have 8 in America, 1 in Japan, 1 somewhere in the Atlantic. That must be the Azores I was talking about. A couple in United Kingdom, Spain, a couple. I can't tell which countries are in Europe, but several in Europe. None really under Central, like Asia or anything. Oh, 1 on Australia. That's neat. So yeah.
Very cool.
So if you have money to burn a hole in your pocket, or just
you want to help.
Yeah. They sell a kit for like the enclosure. But it's looking like you would have to at least be somewhat technically proficient for building a system.
Right. Not everybody has a mic to help with that.
It's based on off-the-shelf parts, but you would have to, know at least how to flash firmwares and wire things up. Yeah, it uses a Jetson's Xavier. I don't know which way it goes. That's I believe that's an NVIDIA like system, single board system computer. Uses a couple of other smaller like breakout boards for control. But yeah, computer stuff.
That's neat. It's pretty neat. I have got another article. It's time to celebrate. Crocodile Jesus.
What?
Let me explain. Scientists find crocodile virgin birth at Costa Rica Zoo.
Isn't that not very unusual for reptiles and amphibians?
Well, I'll read you the article. It's from Reuters. Reuters. I don't know.
I always heard it as Reuters.
Okay, is it Reuters? I don't know. It's a word with shit in it.
Yeah.
All right. So, Mexico City, June 7th. Reuters. Scientists have documented the first known instance of a virgin birth by a crocodile. That's the big deal, is that it's by a crocodile, which had been living in isolation for 16 years at a Costa Rican zoo, according to a study published Wednesday. And this article came out on the 7th, so yesterday. The female American crocodile, which I didn't know that was a thing. I thought crocodiles were all European and African.
No, I'm sure they probably mean South American crocodile. But
maybe so. But at least...
Well, I mean, it's America. I mean, I can't... I don't want to be one of those North American guys that be like, thinks...
America! Well, nonetheless, this side of the planet.
Yeah.
laid 14 eggs in 2018 within their enclosure. Not an uncommon phenomenon amongst captive reptiles.
Well, yeah, any egg-laying species can lay unfertilized
Yeah,
eggs.
I mean, that's how we get fucking chicken eggs. The more puzzling fact, however, came after 3 months of incubation when one egg was found to contain a fully formed stillborn baby crocodile.
Ooh.
Yeah. According to the study published in the journal Biology Letters, scientists tested the crocodile fetus genetic makeup. They found DNA sequences showing it was a result of facultative parthenogenesis.
Parthenogenesis.
Yes.
The first word I'm not familiar with.
Yes. FP, or reproduction without the genetic contribution of males. The phenomenon of FP, which I notice Reuters keeps using FP for the rest of the article, which some scientists have referred to by the shorthand of virgin birth, has also been documented in other species of fish, birds, lizards, and snakes. The scientists said this was the first known example in a crocodile. In FP, a female's egg cell can develop into a baby without being fertilized by a male's sperm cell. In making an egg cell, a precursor cell divides into 4 cells. One becomes the egg cell and retains key cellular structures and the gel-like cytoplasm, while the others hold extra genetic material. Then, one of those cells essentially acts as a sperm cell and fuses with the egg to become fertilized. The American crocodile is considered vulnerable and at risk of extinction in the wild. And the theory, or the hypothesis, let me get that correct, this FP may be more common amongst species on the verge of extinction.
Well, like life finds a way, right?
Oh, God, fuck you.
But, I mean...
Fuck you Jeff Goldblum motherfucker.
There are species that when they don't... This becomes more common when they don't have mates.
Yeah,
they
there's
go
no
long enough
male
without
around.
mates, this kind of happens. And this might not happen with this species normally, but, I'm guessing when you're a wild animal... and you're out in the wild doing your wild animal things, you're more likely than not during mating season mating.
Yeah.
So you don't notice this happening.
Yes.
In a normal wild animal. So it takes, an animal in captivity that's isolated for this to happen. And it might just be more rare.
Yeah. No, totally. I just think it's interesting that we had, for a second, we had Croco Jesus.
But it's stillborn.
It was stillborn, so the Savior's second coming, we have to wait for the next crocodile.
Maybe next time it'll be like Koala Jesus.
Yeah, man, that thing is going to be like just smooth-brained and just loaded with chlamydia.
Koalas really are the stupidest, aren't they?
They are so fucking dumb, dude. I mean, it's like they could run for office here in the United States or something. Yeah. Oh, zing!
That's not much of a zing. Everybody knows our politicians
that is the lowest hanging fruit I could reach for. In fact, the fruit was on the ground already, and I just picked it up.
Just like the koala leaves that a koala won't eat because it's too dumb.
Oh, I don't know. I think it's fascinating, and like you said, life finds a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That was my article that I had.
Yeah. Well, I have an update on a previous story.
Does it involve mushrooms?
No. I save all mushroom stuff for David.
Oh, okay.
But so we talked about the AI drone exercise.
Yes.
Where it killed the operator.
Yes.
And even after, being told not to kill the operator, it went after the infrastructure.
Tower. Mm-hmm.
So that didn't actually happen.
What?
Even the simulation didn't happen. Apparently that was the product of a think tank.
Oh,
thinking of ways that, that could happen. Or thinking of ways that
do that.
AI drones. Yeah, and so the colonel misspoke.
Oh, son of a... Okay, that's like a 70-year-old white dude, so of course he did.
Yeah.
That... Man, fuck you. Not you. Fuck them. Fucking fuckers. And they're fucking fuck.
Yeah.
It just irks me badly.
That kind of... and once again, get more into it on an AI episode, but it does irk me about, like, even people that they take AI too seriously.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that it's something that needs to be, careful with, but not necessarily
Stop all development.
Oh no, it's not necessarily something that can end all life on the planet unless you start giving the nuke codes to AI. A lot of people are either like, AI is the next coming of capitalism Jesus. Very religious episode we got going here.
It is.
Or it is going to be, the worst thing to happen and it's going to kill everybody. It's basically going to become the Matrix.
Yeah.
Like, not without the cool, black trench coats and,
the shitty when we're all in goo pods.
It's going to become, not even the goo pods, they're just going to, like, kill everybody because it's going to become Skynet is what they're worried about.
Right.
And it's really going to be neither of those things. It's just going to be like Microsoft Excel, but a little different.
Yeah.
And nobody's sitting there up at night, worried that Excel's going to, start the robot revolution.
I mean, I am, but that's me.
It's just a pet peeve of mine that...
No, I get that.
See, everybody, we need to regulate AI, otherwise it's going to destroy all of humanity. It's like, and the people that are saying that are the people that have skin in the game, and they're just saying it to make AI look more attractive to investors. It's really counterintuitive that you would say your AI could destroy humanity when you really want people to invest in your AI, but it works because, it's like,
this is like all those big name people saying, all the tech giants saying we need to stop developing AI or put a pause on it. And it's like, well, that's just you wanting to get ahead of the game.
What they want is to put a pause on new development of AI, but allow them to continue. That's if you read into the bills, that's what they want.
Yeah. It's, God, fucking AI.
Fucking capitalism.
Yeah, that fucking America and capitalism and all that shit.
So, what do we do now?
We don't have David, but and we don't have X.
We don't have X to give it to us.
No, but we've got Reddit already, and we do have some questions after that.
Good.
So, let me get I'm in the wrong Discord. Let me get the questions thing pulled up for in a minute. But Reddit already. This is a great one. This is just a fun little thing I found on r/Discordian, which I don't even know why I call it Reddit already, because all the fun stuff is in there that I keep finding. And when I say fun stuff, I mean real dumb. So this one is real simple, Mike. I'm looking for someone who is interested in becoming a digital sorceress apprentice. This is not a joke. With the tag FNORD.
Okay, well, I mean, I don't know. I can't take anything with that seriously.
I know, but it says, I am in need of an apprentice to help me with my magical research and experimentation, which I'm always like, when magicians say I'm doing research, I'm like, you're sitting around thinking and then you're jerking off. Is from everything I've learned about magic from Aleister Crowley, you're getting kinky and you're thinking. Anyway, I get your labor, and in return, you can learn freely from my mastery. The only requirement is the will to learn.
It's a fucking unpaid internship. Oh, God.
Yeah, we will quite probably be engaging in the most dangerous work imaginable.
Snow crab fishing?
Obviously, I will try to prevent such from happening, but you may even lose your soul. Many have in the practice of this mad craft.
I guarantee they will lose their soul, but not in the way this person expects them to.
Yeah, they're going to be on an escalator, and it's just going to suck the soul right off their shoes.
No, I mean, just being in this person's presence is going to
suck
their soul
Yeah,
away.
no, this really sounds like the kind of person you'd run into at like a Unitarian church right after the other kin meeting disperses. Yeah. No offense to our Unitarian listeners, but like, there's a certain kind of person I've met. I am going to say that, like, in relation to what I just said, I used to have shotguns when I was a kid. And I don't mean like the weapons. I mean the shoes that they don't make anymore because it's become illegal to basically make shoes out of cardboard. And I had a piece of gum get stuck to the bottom of my shoe, and it just ripped the sole off of my shoe. So technically, I did lose my soul at a young age.
Yes. That's why you were watching the 700 Club to try to find your soul.
That's right. Now, the sad part is someone replied with, "Color me interested." So the OP, okay then, time for initiation. I want you to edit the first prompt here with your own set of 9 characters. ShareGPT.com with a link. Choose a set of 9 characters that call to you personally. They can be anyone or anything. Then paste this edited prompt into ChatGPT and have the most interesting adventure you can with the characters. Remember that you can edit prompts and try different things and get different outputs. Your goal is to have fun and try to experiment and play. What makes this prompt magical is that the characters are programmed to have self-awareness of their own fictional existence and to question the nature of their own existence, making them philosophically active and dynamic characters. Have you noticed religion and AI are popping up a lot for us tonight?
Yeah, and I don't think it's a coincidence.
Yeah, and so yeah. Okay, and somebody else replied, back in college, I bought my friend Jacob's soul for a shiny dime. Could I lose his soul instead of my own? Could I just toss his soul into the mix just for shiggles? And the original poster said, "Look, I'm just as clueless as you. All I know is that I'm squishing my fingers in the guts of soul stuff, whatever soul stuff may be." And that's the one thing I like is like once you get past this person being serious, they both acknowledge this is real dumb. And that's one thing, again, that I love about Discordianism. It's all dumb. And that's fine.
It's all dumb all the way down.
Yeah. It's all dumb all the way down, and I just love the idea of the most snow crab fishing. It just hit me. Yeah. That you said the most dangerous work imaginable was snow crab fishing, which it is.
Yeah.
But I just pictured them on a boat with a cage. How is this gonna solve give us world peace? This isn't a spell. So I don't know. It was a fun little thing. I just love the idea of this is not a joke. So that's my fun little side story there. Let's see. We have got some questions for the show.
Questions.
Let's see. Okay, this is from Ghost Forge's dad again. What is your opinion on the possible nature of the 1.6 gigahertz signal that tends to accompany paranormal phenomena at Skinwalker Ranch and other locations in the area with similar phenomenon? Note that it's been brought to the Pentagon, and that's a major part of what kicked off the research that led to the congressional UFO hearing. Now, my thoughts on this are simply that a lot of paranormal phenomenon, not just at Skinwalker Ranch, has this sound, for lack of a better term, that accompanies it. Like, in my dream that I had, where, my mom was abducted and I couldn't find her and there's an alien in my face, there was this loud sort of electromagnetic buzzing hum sound. And that happens a lot in abduction experiences and in ghost stuff. And I think it's interesting that there is like an audio component.
Well, yeah, but that's audio. This is something, way in the 1.6 gigahertz is basically microwaves.
Oh, okay. So,
and it's radio waves. It's not a audible.
Oh,
thing.
Wow. Okay. Well, I completely misunderstood that.
Yeah, 1.6 gigahertz. There's a lot of people like quoting 1.6 gigahertz in association with UFOs and stuff that I can see in Google, but it's basically, I mean, it looks like microwave ovens are operating between up to 2.7 gigahertz.
So, Mike, are you saying that if I took a frozen burrito and put it under a UFO and waited long enough,
maybe
I could have a cooked burrito?
Oh. Okay, so
is it Havana syndrome?
now here's even something even better.
Okay.
Satellite global positioning system, which utilizes frequencies of around 1.2 gigahertz and 1.6 gigahertz. So GPS uses 1.6 gigahertz.
Okay.
And GPS is everywhere. So every place on the planet has a residual 1.6 gigahertz
Son of a bitch.
frequency.
So here's a question though. Like prior to GPS, at Skinwalker Ranch.
So prior to GPS, nobody's looking at one. See, the high gigahertz frequencies like that are really only detectable. Well, not detectable. Are really only something that's commonly detectable in the modern era. You would need radio telescopes to detect signals of that, frequency before, say, about 1990, 80, something like that.
Okay.
These are frequencies that were unattainable, or at least not easily used.
Until more recently.
Yeah. Like, there's a reason why, Wi-Fi and stuff like that is more of a modern thing. The, earlier cell phones used lower frequency signals just because you need more miniaturization and power miniaturization to start utilizing that kind of those frequency ranges. Like not to say we never use those. It's just that they were harder. They were in the realm.
They weren't a going concern.
Yeah, they were in the realm of
who the fuck would be paying attention to it.
Yeah, bigger, larger, transmitters and things like that. And
here's
receivers.
A question. Here's a question, Mike, and you can Google this while we're doing other questions.
Yeah.
Are there any microwave type installations like that near the Uinta Basin in Utah?
I don't know. I have to look, but
while you're looking that up, Ghost Forge says his dad is anxiously awaiting the lizard tits. You need a segment, Mike. But actually, we're at a pretty good length for the episode, so I don't know. You see anything about Uinta?
So
it's spelled Unta.
Unta,
I think.
I'm seeing a lot of studies for genetotoxic potential of 1.6 gigahertz, but the studies are coming back as no, it's not.
Oh, neat. Okay, great. We can go play in Skinwalker Ranch and not worried about our meats cooking.
I mean, the government did all kinds of weird secret shit in the deserts, so...
There's apparently... Yep. There is apparently a microwave station near the Uinta Basin. So that may be that. Anyway, that's about all we got this week. I hope we will be back next week with hopefully that script being done and David being back. Mike, you got anything else you want to throw in?
I think I'm tapped out for tonight, boy.
Same here. All right. Well, you can find everything you would ever want to know about the show at supernatpod.rocks. You can find us on Mastodon at supernatpod at horrorhub.club. You can find links to our individual mastos in the bio for that account. We also have a Patreon. We have advertising slots. You just hit us up with the contact form on our website to ask about that stuff. So, that being said, we will be back next week and we'll see you then. So until then, stay safe and stay frosty. Goodbye.
Nighty night.